Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to American Truck Simulator. I'm Martin Wenzel. It is May 3rd, Friday, and we're here in Portland, Oregon. It's 4:15 in the morning, and we're going to get going just across the road, or across the freeway here. And we're going to pick up a load from, I believe, Walmart. There's a couple Walmarts here. I'm not sure if this is a distribution center or if it's the store itself. Crap. I went the wrong direction. Luckily, there aren't a bunch of other trucks parked right here, so we'll just drive through these spots. I feel like there should be an exit going that way because all these arrows point in. So I don't know if I'm missing the exit somewhere or if this is the way to go. We're going to be going over to Walmart just across the freeway, and don't remember exactly what we're going to be picking up, but we're going to be taking it to Idaho Falls. Now, to address the elephant in the room, if you watched the last video, and you may have noticed, and I did not notice when I recorded the outro for that, but I did mention we went over the 14-hour clock. I just misjudged everything there. Went over the 14-hour clock, so we're in violation there, and then of the hours of service rules from the DOT for truckers. And then we also drove too many hours. We drove too many hours. You only can drive 11 hours within that 14-hour window. And we ended up driving, when all was said and done, 11 hours and 15 minutes. So not a ton over, but enough. Actually, I think it was 11 and a half hours. Yeah, it was 11 and a half hours. We then had 5 on-duty hours. So we did 12 duty hours yesterday. And 11 and a half was driving. You can only do 11, so we were a little bit over. And that sometimes happens to truckers. With the new electronic logs, you can't really fudge the numbers, and your company will catch that. And usually, depending on the company, they might change the numbers a little bit for you to put you in compliance if it's something close like that. Let's get the job, and I'll continue the story. Or continue the explanation. Here we go. We're going from Portland with some cheese. 33,000 pounds of cheese to Twin Falls, Idaho. So not Idaho Falls. So I can't remember. I've been mentioning how Idaho Falls has a special place, as that was the place where we kind of started keeping track of the logs and the hours very closely. I think that might actually be Twin Falls. But I'll have to go back and look at the logs and see. In any case, that's where we're going to be going today, Twin Falls, Idaho. So we were over the drive limit and the 14-hour limit yesterday. Our 11 and our 14 were not right yesterday. So I believe truckers only have to worry about that if they get pulled over and get their books looked at. Of course, you don't want to be out of compliance, but sometimes you just end up out of compliance, and you can get away with it if you don't get pulled over and your books looked at by an officer within that week or two period. Of course, in American Truck Simulator, we have no such worries. kind of feel dumb that I didn't catch that and didn't realize that, oh yeah, I overdrove the clock. Didn't even notice it when I realized we had gone over the 14, that we'd also gone over the drive limit. But today's a new day. I believe we have just under 10 hours, I think 9 hours, 45 minutes of clock available for us. And that should be enough to get close to Twin Falls. I don't know if we'll be able to get all the way there. And the biggest problem will be actually finding a truck stop. We might just have to pull over on the side of the highway, because coast to coast does not have as many truck stops as you'd see in real life, or rest areas, and especially in some of those more open areas where there's just nothing. You might get in trouble. Alright, so it took us 15 minutes to get in here. That's alright. Stop the engine, let's get loaded. I'll see you once we're loaded. Alright, it is 8 o'clock. We are loaded up. See, some new trailers have come in since then. The sun is up. Let's get on the road. And we can drive, again, the 14-hour, we can drive until, or be on duty until 7 p.m. That'll be mountain time, and once we get over to Idaho, we'll be in mountain time. So we should be pretty good. We have 8.5 hours. Pretty close on the duty clock. When we take our break, I'll have to check that. Just make sure. I think we might be able to get all the way there and parked. And probably what we'll do is we'll park in Twin Falls, and then in the morning deliver the load. that was close. Came right up on an accident or a crime scene or something here. Hope you're enjoying the Interstate 84 scenery. I love this road in Oregon. It's great. I'm thinking of maybe we do a road trip out here this summer when we get to America. You know, probably our last great road trip. I don't know. I mean, we did the Grand Canyon a couple of years ago. Be nice to come out to the Northwest. We go past this scene. I don't know what that was. But no warning. But luckily we were able to get slowed down and not cause a big accident. This is probably one of the coolest pieces of road in all of American Truck Simulator, at least for an interstate. You can just see all the farms for miles. This is probably one of the heaviest areas where they had to do a lot of actually putting the scenery in. Most of the times you can just kind of hide a lot of the scenery behind the hills. But this one you're on top and you can see everything. And we're gonna go look around. I've been at this I love this rest area, nice lookout. We need to take a half-hour break. So let's pull in and we'll take a little bit of a, we'll go over there to that little lookout point and just look down at the farms and the freeway behind us. Alright, I can't really read what that says. Not sure what that is. I'm gonna try to see if I can find where this rest area is, and I'll maybe post a picture of what that rock actually says. But here's the view from over here. Pretty cool. I mean, like I said, usually they just hide a lot of scenery behind hills. And you just see what's immediately next to the freeways. But here, with us being above everything, they have to show us a lot of farmland. That's just a really cool sight. All right. Well, let's get back to the truck. All right, let's get moving. You can see that clock moving nice and quickly in here, so we don't want to sit around too much. Really hard to see as we pull out. And looking at our clock, looking at the time, we have about 5, almost 6 hours probably to drive to get to Twin Falls. And we're not gonna be able to deliver with the amount of duty time we have left under that clock. And I don't think we're gonna be able to drive there either. Again, we have about 9 hours and 45 minutes of duty. We've already used 4 hours and 45 minutes of that. So we're not gonna be able to get all the way to Twin Falls. So I think we're gonna get off in Ontario, right on the border with Idaho. And as we get to Ontario, we'll kind of see where our clock is, but I think that'll be the best place to just get off, be safe. We could probably push on to Boise. But I think Ontario is going to be the target as we drive on this nice windy road, which is probably pretty fun in a car. A little difficult for a truck, trying to stay in the lane. I wonder how windy it is in real life. Again, you have to remember everything's scaled down 1/20th, so sometimes it's a lot windier and a lot tighter corners than they actually appear in real life. And sometimes they ignore some of those really tight corners that are in real life. we're here in Ontario, Oregon, right near the border of Idaho. We have an hour to spare on our 14. We're not parked yet, so we're gonna be close, but we've driven as far as we can. We're not leaving too much on the clock. We really can't drive much more than, can't go past the 14, and as we get to the 14, that also runs out our time that we had available to drive today anyway, based on our 70. So good day overall. Few slow ups, especially with those way stations. And getting back on the road. Wow, this area just feels like a real exit, you know, just the trees, the big signs there, big thick poles. Gonna pull right in here to, oh, we can't pull in there. I think we have to go to this bigger area. Okay, we got fuel over here. And since we have time, let's get fuel now, then we don't have to burn the clock in the morning. Get fuel. Oh, there's a restaurant, nice Petro travel store. I wonder if they got the iron skillet. I like iron skillet. Some truckers don't. I'm not a trucker, so I haven't eaten there a ton, but every time I have, as a four-wheeler, I've enjoyed it. All right, let's fill this guy up. We can fill it. Probably 3/4 of the way will be fine. Seems like we're hitting every way station. And we'll park next to this Peterbilt day cab, looks like. All right, 5:30, 6:30 Mountain Time. Reviewing the log, we started at 4 a.m. Pacific Time, 5 a.m. Mountain Time. Drove 15 minutes and picked up just across the highway there at Walmart. And we drove 4 hours, took our break, and then drove another 4.5. So that gives us a 9 hour, 15-minute duty day, if I did my math right. And you'll see on the log if that all checks out. We didn't go over our 14. I don't think we went over our what we had for the day driving, what we had available on the 70. So a good day overall. We'll be able to deliver tomorrow morning just fine. So please comment and like this video. Subscribe to the channel. Check your pins. Have fun trucking. Take care. Goodbye.